I have a confession to make. And do you know what my confession is? The Lakers, I am not including the game against Dallas because by the time this comes out, it'll be past the Dallas game. I'm choosing the Lakers to go 15-6 the rest of the season and just make it to the 6th seed. But it's mostly likely going to be the 7th seed. But one of those 2 seeds, they're going to go and get in. What do you think? And I'll just keep drinking my sparkling water because sparkling water is really good for the soul. Refreshing. Now, you might be wondering why I am making such a bold, realistic, but peculiar type of predicament in terms of where the Lakers are going to end up. But I believe in them. These New Look Lakers are looking really good. After their new additions of Mo Bamba, D'Angelo Russell, Victor Vanderbilt, I feel like I'm saying that name wrong. Jared Vanderbilt, thank you very much. And a couple other players. I should really include Beasley. I believe that the Lakers have a really good shot at this. They're looking so much better. We're seeing a more traditional LeBron lineup. The best way that I can describe LeBron's championship teams being established is just having the formation of another star player. So that's Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Dwayne Wade, and then the solid role players. I'm not talking about minimum guys like what the Lakers had, particularly last year, where maybe it was Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is definitely worth more than a minimum contract, but I'm more talking about guys who are on minimum contracts because you really need those role players like Malik Beasley's like on a kind of a, I can't exactly remember the contract, but he's on more than a minimum wage contract. I'm not talking about minimum wage. But you need those role players like Mikal Bridges, those type of role players. Kevin Love, I'll call him a role player. Chris Bosh. Those players who can take a bit of pressure off the star players and they can create their own shot and they can kind of do their own stuff that take a lot of the stress off the top players like LeBron. And we definitely saw this the other night. Anthony Davis, LeBron, they didn't have the strongest of games. They had role players like Austin Reeves and Malik Beasley who managed to carry a bit of the load. I think we should be very lucky that D'Angelo Russell's injury wasn't as bad as what it seemed. Of course, it's the Lakers' chances that D'Angelo Russell just has to have his leg back at the time, just trying to inbound. It wasn't even a basketball player, just trying to inbound the ball, and he got his leg caught on the foot of Mr. DiVincenzo, which it was just very unfortunate, but luckily it's not too bad. They didn't have to do like an MRI, which is really good news. So it should just be a bit of a day-to-day thing. But they're looking a lot better. They got shooting. D'Angelo Russell, we don't need all-star D'Angelo Russell. We just need a solid player who can dish the ball to shooters, create his own shot. That's all we really need. Something that Russell Westbrook just wasn't able to do. Mind me, Russell Westbrook did play well for the Los Angeles Lakers in spurts. He had games where there's definitely no doubt that they wouldn't have won the game without Mr. Russell. And he was able to push the pace, and he was really good with the role players just to kind of lift them. I remember Thomas Bryant and Wyndham Gabriel played off him really well, and that's why we saw Thomas Bryant, who ultimately got traded, but a little bit disappointed that he did get traded because he's a really solid player. He went to the Denver Nuggets. And yeah, it's kind of funny because so he requested a trade, right? Because Anthony Davis is coming back and he's going to kind of fulfill that role. I would have liked to have seen a Thomas Bryant and Anthony Davis line up together, but yeah, he ended up going to the Nuggets, which is right behind Jokic, which I believe you're probably not going to see any Thomas Bryant and Jokic minutes shared together. So I don't know if that worked out in the best interest of Thomas Bryant, who wanted a bit more playing time. But yeah, so currently the Lakers are sitting at that 13th spot. And we have never seen a Western Conference from literally, this is from Sunday nights. This is the night before, I don't know the time, but this is before the Lakers-Mavericks game. Currently there's 6.5 games between the 3rd seed and the 13th seed, which is very close. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers have got a tough schedule, but looking against them, I'm picking them to lose possibly against Memphis, maybe Dallas, Phoenix, the LA team. I think there was one more loss I had calculated in there as well, but there's going to be a couple of losses there. But I reckon the Lakers have a really good chance. They've got I believe, the third weakest schedule of the league left, so there's definitely a really good chance for them to go and gain against some of those teams. I'm thinking maybe Minnesota drop, maybe Utah drop. Warriors have been a 500 team. We kind of see them lose a couple games, then win a couple, kind of staying around 500 because Steph Curry has been out and Andrew Wiggins has had personal family matters. So hopefully he's in the lineup for a couple of days. But yeah, the Lakers, I believe they've got a really solid chance. We just got to hope that LeBron James and Anthony Davis are healthy. And I'm picking the Lakers in many matchups, and no one wants to verse them in a first round series. Let's say that the Lakers get to the 8th seed. They would verse, at the moment, the Denver Nuggets. I choose the Lakers to beat Denver. I honestly do. We saw it in the bubble now. This was years ago. I'm sure that Jokic has developed his game and he's definitely grown a lot. He hasn't always been the best defensive guy, but Anthony Davis in that bubble championship, I believe it was the conference finals, please correct me, Anthony Davis outplayed Jokic. So, and now there's a lot more role players. Jamal Murray's back. Michael Porter Jr. is back. A little bit of a defensive liability. But I definitely picked the Lakers to win. Memphis, same story. A bit closer. I'll probably say that the same with Sacramento. I don't know if the Lakers are beating the Suns and the Clippers, though. I'm a little bit skeptical about that one. We just never know. But those top three, I reckon the Lakers can definitely get into a second round series, and I'm sure those top three teams do not want to verse the Los Angeles Lakers. But yeah, no, the Lakers are definitely looking in a much better spot, and we definitely need to give Rob Pelinka his props for quickly doing some really good trades. He did dig himself into a bit of a hole with that Westbrook trade and a couple of other deals, but overall he has done a really good job at crafting this roster, and hopefully the Lakers can make a bit of a title run. I would love to see them back in the title. It's where they belong. We don't want no Lakers with, actually, I will say it's kind of funny that LeBron didn't like the play-in game, but the playing game is going to keep him in the action. We saw that against, I think it was a Phoenix and the Los Angeles Lakers. It was the season after the bubble. I think they had John Joe Drummond on that team actually, and I can't remember who else. But yeah, they just needed the playing game to get into it, and they bet Golden State, who was pretty weak at that point because there was a lot of injuries going on. There was a bit of a season where Klay Thompson was also out. But yeah,